Stop pouring bleach in your toilet bowl every week. I mean it. If you've been doing that thinking you're sanitizing the bowl, you're actually wearing down the porcelain glaze faster than normal use ever would, and you're doing nothing about the one thing that's actually making your bathroom smell bad. I've cleaned toilets in restaurants, apartment buildings, and private homes for over 20 years, and the bottle sitting under almost every one of those sinks was bleach. Meanwhile, the brown ring kept coming back. The smell kept coming back, and people kept scrubbing harder instead of asking why the same problem shows up every single month. Here's the thing nobody tells you. There's a brown bottle sitting in your medicine cabinet right now that does more for your toilet than half the products lined up in the cleaning aisle. Hydrogen peroxide. The same stuff you use on a cut. 3%, the cheap kind. $1 or $2 at any pharmacy. My grandfather used it in commercial buildings back when bleach was already the industry standard, because he knew something most people still don't. Bleach kills what's on the surface, but it doesn't touch what's underneath the surface. Peroxide does. I'm going to walk you through 11 ways this one bottle can fix problems you didn't even know how to fix, why your toilet keeps getting dirty in the first place, and the exact method I use to make a toilet look brand new without scrubbing my arm off. Stick around, because benefit number 7 is the one that saves people the most money, and almost nobody knows about it. Problem. You clean the toilet. It looks fine for 3, maybe 4 days. Then that faint ring starts creeping back right at the waterline. Not dirt exactly, more like a stain that won't come off no matter how hard you scrub. You reach for a pumice stone. You go at it with a wire brush, and it fades a little, but it's never actually gone. It just goes quiet for a while. Then there's the smell. Not right after you clean, but by day 3 or 4, there's this faint mustiness in the bathroom that you can't quite place. You check under the rim with a flashlight, and there it is, a rough, almost furry texture clinging to the underside where the water flushes down. Most people never look there. They clean the bowl, the seat, maybe the outside of the tank, and they never flip a mirror under that rim because who thinks to do that? The grout around the base gets that same gray-brown tint. The overflow tube inside the tank, if you've ever popped the lid off, has a slimy film running down it that nobody notices until the tank starts smelling worse than the bowl itself. None of this looks dangerous. That's exactly why people ignore it. It's not until the ring turns into a hard, chalky buildup that won't budge, or the smell gets bad enough that guests notice it, that people finally start Googling what's actually going on. By then, you're not dealing with a light stain anymore. You're dealing with something that's had weeks to set in. Why it happens. Here's what's actually going on, and it's not complicated once you see it the way a plumber or a janitor sees it. Toilet water isn't just water. It carries minerals, calcium and magnesium mostly, depending on your water supply. And every time the tank refills, a little bit of that mineral content gets left behind on the porcelain. On its own, that's just hard water buildup, the same stuff you'd see on a shower head. Annoying, but not the whole story. The real problem is biological. Toilets are warm, dark, and constantly damp. That's basically a lab setup for mold and bacteria to build a home. Under the rim especially, water doesn't fully drain after every flush. It sits in tiny pockets and grooves on the porcelain, and that moisture never fully dries out because the next flush is only hours away. Mold spores that are floating around in every bathroom air, you can't avoid them, they're everywhere, land on that wet surface and they've got everything they need to grow. Warmth, moisture, and a food source in the mineral film and organic matter that builds up. That combination is exactly why the stain always comes back at the waterline. That's the exact spot where mineral deposits and moisture overlap the most, so it's the perfect breeding ground. I've pulled toilets apart on job sites where the visible ring was maybe 1/8 of an inch of buildup, and underneath it, once I scraped it back, the porcelain was clean. The mold and mineral film had layered right on top of the glaze, not into it. That's important because it means the porcelain usually isn't actually damaged. It's coated, and coatings can be dissolved. You just need something strong enough to break the biological layer down, not just push it around. Bleach handles the surface bacteria fine, but it doesn't oxidize through that layered film the same way peroxide does, and it evaporates fast, so it's barely in contact with the stain before it's already lost most of its strength. Common mistakes. The first mistake, and I see this constantly, is people scrubbing dry. They squirt some cleaner in, wait 10 seconds, and start attacking the ring with the brush before the product has done any actual work. Chemical cleaners need contact time. If you're scrubbing immediately, you're using the brush to do a chemical's job, which means you're working twice as hard for half the result. 10 seconds isn't contact time. That's barely enough time for the product to wet the surface. The second mistake is mixing cleaning products, and this one worries me more than the others because it's actually dangerous, not just ineffective. People pour bleach in. It doesn't work fast enough, so they add a splash of an acidic toilet bowl cleaner or vinegar on top, thinking it'll boost the power. Mixing bleach with anything acidic releases chlorine gas. I've walked into bathrooms where someone did exactly this and had to open every window in the house because their eyes were burning. It doesn't make the cleaner stronger, it makes it toxic, and it still doesn't remove the stain because you're neutralizing the bleach's effectiveness the same moment you're creating fumes. The third mistake is the pumice stone habit. A lot of people online recommend pumice stones for hard water rings, and yes, they can knock the visible stain down, but porcelain has a glaze on it, a thin glassy coating that's what makes it smooth and stain-resistant in the first place. Every time you drag a pumice stone across that glaze, you're putting microscopic scratches into it. You might not see it after one use, but do that every month for 2 years, and that toilet bowl develops a rough texture you can feel with your hand. And here's the kicker. Rough porcelain holds on to stains and bacteria even more than smooth porcelain does. So the tool people use to fight the ring is actually setting them up for a worse ring down the line. I've seen toilets in older buildings that were pumice stoned so often the glaze was basically gone, and no amount of cleaning could make that bowl look right again because the surface itself had turned porous. Solution. Alright, here's the method. I'm going to break this into stages because the order actually matters. Peroxide works, but only if you use it the right way, at the right strength, with the right contact time. Stage 1. The daily bowl clean. Pour about a half cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide directly into the bowl, aiming it around the rim so it runs down the sides, not just into the water. Let it sit for 20 minutes. Not 5, not 10, 20. This is where most people get impatient and cut it short, and it's the single biggest reason people think peroxide doesn't work as well as bleach. It works fine, it just needs time to oxidize the organic buildup, because unlike bleach, it's not evaporating off the surface, it's breaking down slowly and staying active the whole time. After 20 minutes, take your toilet brush and go around the bowl, focusing extra time right under the rim where the water line sits. You'll feel the texture change under the brush as the film lifts. Flush, and you're done. But there's one step people always skip, and it's the one that matters most for keeping that ring from coming back. The underside of the rim itself, not just the bowl surface. Stage 2. The rim properly. Grab an old toothbrush or a small grout brush, something with stiff bristles and a narrow head. Turn off the water supply valve behind the toilet and flush to empty most of the water, or just work with the tank still on if you don't mind a bit of extra water in the bowl. Soak a rag in full-strength 3% hydrogen peroxide, wring it out so it's damp, not dripping, and pack it up against the underside of the rim, right into that groove where water flows down. Let it sit 15 minutes. This is the exact spot where mold builds its thickest colony because it almost never gets scrubbed directly. Most people just splash cleaner up there and hope. After the rag sits, pull it off and scrub that groove with the toothbrush. You'll see brown-black residue coming off to the bristles. That's the stuff that's been living up there for months, maybe longer if this is your first real deep clean. Stage 3. The tank. This is the part almost nobody does, and it's the reason toilets that look perfectly clean can still smell musty. Lift the tank lid off, pour in about a full cup of hydrogen peroxide, let it sit for 30 minutes without flushing. The overflow tube and the walls of the tank build up the same kind of film as the bowl, just out of sight, and every flush pushes a little bit of that film down into the bowl you just cleaned. Cleaning the bowl without ever touching the tank is like mopping a floor while leaving a mop bucket refilling itself in the corner. After the 30 minutes, flush a few times to rinse it through. If you see any staining on the tank walls themselves, a sponge with a bit of peroxide poured directly on it handles that easily, since there's no scrubbing pressure needed once it's had contact time. Stage 4. The base and grout. Mix hydrogen peroxide with a little baking soda until it forms a paste, about the consistency of toothpaste. Apply it directly to the grout lines around the base of the toilet where grime tends to collect from mopping water pooling there. Let it sit 10 minutes, then scrub with the same stiff brush. The fizzing reaction you'll see is the peroxide breaking down organic staining in the grout, and it's genuinely satisfying to watch the color come back to grout that's been gray for years. Here's my pro tip, and this is something I learned from doing hundreds of these jobs, not from a manual. Buy a small, dark spray bottle, the kind you'd use for essential oils, and keep it filled with straight 3% peroxide right next to the toilet. Peroxide breaks down in light, which is why it comes in brown bottles, so keeping it in a dark spray bottle instead of leaving the original bottle open on the counter means it stays at full strength longer. Every time you flush and notice the bowl looking even slightly dull, give it 2 or 3 spritzes right at the waterline before it has a chance to build up. That 30 seconds a day is genuinely the difference between a deep clean every week and a deep clean every month, because you're never letting the film get thick enough to need heavy scrubbing in the first place. One more thing worth knowing. Don't combine this method with a bleach-based tablet sitting in your tank. Those tablets release chlorine slowly into the tank water, and if that mixes with the peroxide during stage 3, you're back to the same gas problem I mentioned earlier. Pick one system. If you're switching to peroxide, pull the bleach tablet out first and let the tank run a couple of clean cycles before you start. Do all 4 stages once, thoroughly, and after that you're really only maintaining with the daily half-cup 4 and the spray bottle. That's the whole system. No special tools, nothing you can't get for under $5 at a pharmacy, and it does more for the actual root cause than anything sitting on the shelf marketed specifically for toilets. That's the method, start to finish, and if you try even just the rim step this week, I think you'll be surprised how much of that smell disappears once that groove is actually clean instead of just splashed with cleaner and ignored. If you've got a bathroom problem that's been driving you crazy, a stain that won't come out, a smell you can't track down, anything like that, put it in the comments. I read through them, and a lot of the videos on this channel started as answers to exactly that kind of question. Chances are, if it's bugging you, it's bugging a few hundred other people too, and it's worth me making a full breakdown on it. If this helped, subscribing means you'll catch the next one when it goes up, and I've got a video on this channel about hard water stains on shower glass that pairs well with this one, since it's the same mineral buildup problem, just in a different spot in your bathroom. Worth a watch if that ring on your toilet has you noticing the same thing happening on your glass. Either way, thanks for sticking with me through this one. I'll see you in the next video.